Stop. Don't just listen. Feel the air around you turning sharp, scented with the ghost of coal smoke and dried lavender. In these next few seconds, the year 2026 is evaporating. You aren't just drifting to sleep. You are waking up in London, 1860. The velvet curtains are heavy, the floor is ice cold, and your life is no longer your own. Your fingers reach out, brushing against a rough linen pillowcase that wasn't there a moment ago. This is the first morning of your season. Outside, the rhythmic clip-clop of horse hooves on cobblestones replaces the hum of the city. You are 18, wealthy, and beautifully trapped. Every breath you take today will be measured. Every glance you steal will be judged. You are about to enter a world of gilded cages and silent rules. Stay with me as the fog clears, and let your body sink into the heavy reality of a Victorian dawn. Now as you lie there, perfectly still, notice the weight of the silence. It is not the empty silence of a modern room, but a dense, layered quiet, filled with the muffled sounds of a household that breathes like a living thing. Somewhere deep below, in the belly of the house, a fire is being stoked in the kitchen. You can almost hear the rhythmic scraping of the iron shovel against the stone. A heavy oak door creaks on its hinges. The distant crystalline chime of a silver spoon against a porcelain saucer echoes up the back stairs, traveling through the vents like a secret. These are the pulses of 1860, and they are now your heartbeat. The mattress beneath you is a vast, firm landscape of tradition. You feel the unyielding support of the wool stuff ticking, a solid foundation that demands a certain posture even in the depths of rest. There is no memory foam here, no synthetic softness, only the honest, heavy materials of the earth. Above you, the canopy of your bed is a dark, carved mahogany forest. Its intricate wooden vines and silent gargoyles stretch long, thin shadows across the room in the emerging light. This bed is your sanctuary, your last fortress of privacy, but it is also the place where your destiny as a wife and mother will be dreamed into existence by others. Every thread in these linens, every painstaking stitch in the heavy quilts pressing down on your chest was chosen to reflect a status you did not earn, but must now defend with every fiber of your being. Take a slow, deep breath. The air is fundamentally different here. It has a physical weight to it, a velvety coolness that tastes of damp limestone, ancient oak, and the lingering residue of last night's beeswax candles. There is no artificial humming warmth to soften the transition from sleep to waking. You must meet the morning on its own terms, cold and unforgiving. As you shift your legs beneath the covers, the thick cotton of your nightgown hand, stitched with tiny, microscopic lace at the throat, whispers against the sheets. It is a sound of immense luxury, yet it is also the sound of a beautiful restriction. You are already covered, already modest, already prepared for the male gaze, even in the absolute privacy of your own mind. Now, let your feet find the edge of the bed. Do not rush. Let every movement be a slow, deliberate ritual of presence. As your soles touch the dark, polished oak planks, the chill is immediate and bracing. It travels up your legs like a silver thread of electricity, snapping your senses into a sharp, crystalline focus. This cold is your anchor. It tells you that you are no longer a ghost of the future. You are truly here. You are standing in a room that has seen generations of daughters wake up with the same fluttering, bird-like anxiety trapped in their chests. You are not an individual this morning. You are a link in a lineage of silence and grace. Walk toward the window. Your gown trails behind you, a soft, white ghost whispering across the floorboards. Reach for the emerald green velvet curtains. They are immensely heavy, woven with the literal dust of a decade and the rich metallic scent of expensive Victorian dyes. As you pull them back, the heavy brass rings protest with a low, rhythmic rasp that vibrates in your hand. The light that pours in is not the harsh, neon glare of a modern street, but a soft, pearlescent gray a London fog, filtered through coal-stained glass. Look out at the street below. You see the lamplighter, a solitary silhouette, extinguishing the gas lamps with a long, elegant pole. His figure is quickly swallowed by the swirling yellow mist. You see the black, lacquered carriages, their lanterns flickering like dying fireflies in the gloom. This is your world. It looks like a dream, a masterpiece of oil paintings, Tennyson's poetry, and candlelight. But beneath the surface, it functions with the cold, relentless, and heartless precision of a clock. Every person you see, from the flower girl on the corner to the earl and the passing brougham, has a rank, a role, and a set of invisible rules from which they cannot deviate by even an inch. Turn back to the interior of your room. The shadows are retreating, revealing the exquisite tools of your daily transformation. Notice the silverback brushes on your vanity, arranged in perfect, terrifying symmetry. The porcelain basin is painted with delicate, bleeding rosebuds, waiting for the warm water that is currently being carried up 3 flights of stairs. The looming mahogany wardrobe stands like a silent sentinel, holding the silk and whalebone armor you will wear to battle today. Everything is waiting. The house is waking up, and soon the rhythmic, polite knocking on your door will begin. The maids will arrive with their silent footsteps, their downcast eyes, their hot water, and their devastatingly tight laces. The world will demand your body, your smile, and your absolute submission. But for this precious moment, just stay in the stillness. Feel the grounding, ancient weight of the 19th century. Your breathing is slow, steady, and deep. Your mind is a clear, calm lake. You are no longer a visitor from another time. You are a resident of this elegant, brutal era. You are safe within these thick stone walls, protected by your father's wealth and your family's name. Even as the boundaries of your freedom begin to tighten around you, like the very corset that lies waiting on the chair. As you stand there, bathed in the soft gray light of 1860, you begin to realize that your journey is not just through a house, but through a vast social architecture designed to hold you in place forever. The beauty is the bait, the comfort is the cage, the etiquette is the lock. You are ready to see it all, to feel the silk against your skin and the steel against your ribs, and finally, to let it all go as you drift deeper into the collective memory of this world. Clock on the mantel strikes the hour, a deep, resonant bronze tone that vibrates through the floor and into your bones. It reminds you that time here is not a digital flicker, but a physical presence. Every second is a commitment. Every minute is a duty. You feel your heartbeat slowing down to match the tempo of the house. You are becoming part of the furniture, part of the history, part of the very air that circulates through these halls. The scent of the lavender sachet in your vanity drawer drifts up to meet you, a clean, sharp, herbal aroma that clears your mind and calms the last of your modern nerves. It is the scent of order, of a well-kept domestic empire, and of a life lived with exhausting attention to detail. Every aspect of your existence is curated by hands other than your own. Every object you touch has a history, a price, and a purpose. You are moving through a masterpiece of social engineering, where every gesture of your hand and every inflection of your voice has been rehearsed by women for centuries before you were even born. Feel the stillness once more. Let it seep into your marrow. You are ready to transition from the girl who woke up in the cold to the woman who will conquer the ballroom. The transition is not a jump. It is a slow, graceful, and inevitable glide. You are moving from the private soul to the public role. But remember this quiet room. Remember the cold floor and the heavy, honest blankets. They are the truth of you. The quiet, wild core that remains even when the corset is at its tightest and the world is at its loudest. You are a daughter of 1860, and your story is just beginning to unfold in the dim light. It is a story of elegance, of hidden sacrifice, and of a quiet, enduring strength that the world rarely acknowledges. But before the corset is tightened, before the laces are pulled, and the very breath is caught in your throat, we must understand the world that waits just outside your window. A world that looks like a dream, but functions like a clock. Keep your eyes closed. The carriage is waiting. The dance is about to begin. And the silence of the past is the only place where you can truly find your rest. Imagine the world beyond your bedroom door, where the soft morning mist of London gives way to the dazzling, golden glow of a ballroom. It is a transition from the private chill of your oak floors to the warmth of 1,000 flickering beeswax candles, each one reflected in the tall, gilded mirrors that line the walls of the great houses in Mayfair. This is the season, the grand, theatrical stage where your life is meant to truly begin. You can feel the hum of the crowd before you even enter the room. A low, melodic vibration of hushed voices, the rustle of expensive silks, and the distant, sweeping chords of a violin ensemble. As you step into the light, the air is heavy with the scent of hothouse lilies and the expensive, powdery fragrance of hundreds of guests. You are a masterpiece of preparation. Your gown, a cloud of white tulle and satin, feels both like a cloud and a fortress. It is beautiful. Yes, the finest lace at your wrists, the delicate embroidery across your bodice, but it is also a reminder of the rules you must now embody. Every stitch is a boundary. Every ribbon is a requirement. You move with a slow, practiced grace, your chin tilted just so, your shoulders back, mimicking the statues that stand in the alcove. You are safe here, protected by the sheer magnitude of the wealth and the names surrounding you. Yet you are also under the most intense scrutiny of your life. Your hands are encased in pristine, white kid leather gloves, reaching nearly to your elbows. They feel like a second skin, smooth and cool, ensuring that your flesh never touches the world directly. In your right hand, you carry your most vital tool, the fan. It is a delicate thing of ivory and painted silk, but in this room, it is a language. You have spent hours in front of your mirror learning its silent vocabulary. A fan rested against the right cheek means yes. Placed against the left, it means no. To draw it across the forehead is to say, we are washed. A constant, sobering truth in the Victorian ballroom. You watch other debutantes, their fans fluttering like the wings of trapped birds, sending secret signals to young men across the room, while their faces remain as still as porcelain. Every flutter of the fan is a whisper in a room where you are not allowed to speak your heart. Behind you always are the chaperones. You feel their presence like a physical weight. They are the row of older women, seated on the velvet benches against the walls, mothers, aunts, and grandmothers dressed in somber satins and heavy jewels. Their eyes are sharp, unblinking, and all-seeing. They are the guardians of the social order, the human tally books of reputation. To them, a dance is not a dance. It is an interview. A conversation is not an exchange of ideas. It is a negotiation of lineage. You feel their gaze on the back of your neck as you accept a dance card, a tiny, silver-bound booklet that dictates your entire evening. To be left with an empty card is a tragedy. To fill it too quickly with the wrong names is a scandal. The ink on the card is barely dry, yet it feels as heavy as lead. Now, imagine the music begins. A waltz. The rhythm is steady, 3/4 time, a heartbeat for the elite. A young gentleman approaches, bows low, and offers his arm. You do not look him in the eye, not yet. You follow the choreography you have known since childhood. But as you begin to turn, as the room starts to whirl in a blur of gold and white, a chilling realization settles beneath your ribs. A single slip of the foot, a loud laugh, a moment left unchaperoned in a dark hallway, or even a dance accepted 3 times by the same man could ruin you. In 1860, a woman's reputation is as fragile as the fine crystal flutes being carried on silver trays. Once cracked, it can never be mended. A soiled name is a social death sentence, a banishment to the shadows where you will no longer exist in these bright rooms. One wrong move, and the music stops forever. The waltz continues, its repetitive, circular motion acting as a hypnotic lull. Round and round you go, the heavy skirts of your dress flaring out and then settling back against your legs with every rotation. The movement is predictable, almost mechanical. It is designed to keep you in a state of suspended animation, beautiful, spinning, and silent. You are a part of a grand spinning machine. The chandeliers above sway slightly, their crystals tinkling like tiny bells, a sound that merges with the rhythmic scuff of leather slippers on the waxed floor. Step, slide, together. Step, slide together. The world outside the poverty, the politics, the soot does not exist here. Here, there is only the rhythm, the light, and the suffocating perfection of the moment. You feel the warmth of your partner's hand through the layers of your gloves, a distant, muffled connection that reminds you of the barriers between every soul in this room. Your breathing slows as you yield to the dance. There is a strange comfort in having no choices to make. The music tells you where to move. The fan tells you what to say. The chaperones tell you how to feel. You are being held in the protective embrace of a society that values your safety over your soul. The velvet walls seem to lean in, muffling the noise of the city, wrapping you in a cocoon of privilege. You feel your muscles relax into the familiar patterns. The fear of failure begins to fade into a dull, manageable ache, replaced by the sheer physical exhaustion of being a spectacle. You are a jewel in a display case, and for tonight, the display is flawless. The wax from the candles drips slowly, creating small, silent sculptures on the silver sconces, a metaphor for the slow passage of your youth in these gilded halls. As the set ends and the music fades into a gentle hum of strings, you are led back to your seat. The air is slightly cooler away from the center of the floor. You sit, folding your skirts with practiced precision, feeling the ache in your feet and the lingering tightness in your chest. You watch the other couples, the sea of white lace and black wool, and you realize that every smile in this room is a mask. Every bow, a performance. The splendor is undeniable, but it is a hollow splendor, built on the silence of the women who inhabit it. You are queen of the ballroom, but your crown is made of ice, and the room is very, very warm. You feel the silk of your dress smoothing out under your palms, a texture so fine it feels almost liquid, yet so strong it binds you to your chair. The evening is winding down. The candles have burned halfway through their sticks, casting longer, softer shadows across the floor. The energy in the room has shifted from a frantic glitter to a heavy, somber elegance. You watch the dust motes settle on the velvet draperies, illuminated by the dying light. There is a profound sense of finality in the air. Every dance danced, every word whispered, has been a brick laid in the foundation of your future. You have played your part. You have been the perfect Victorian debutante. You have remained within the lines, followed the fan, and kept the peace. You are an architect of your own domestic prison, building it with grace and a quiet, hidden desperation. But as the carriages are called and the heavy doors are opened to the damp London night, you feel a shift in the narrative. The glamour of the dance is beginning to peel away, revealing the cold reality beneath the silk. You realize that this entire, shimmering spectacle, the music, the flowers, the breathless turns across the floor, was not for your pleasure. It was a display. It was a demonstration of value. The ballroom was not a place of magic, but a place of trade. And as you are helped into your cloak, the weight of the fabric feels different now, heavier, more permanent. The velvet of the cloak is a dark shadow that swallows the white of your gown, a symbolic end to the night's illusion. The lights are being dimmed, one by one. The mirrors now reflect only the dark, empty spaces where the dancers once stood. The silence returns, but it is a different silence than the one in your bedroom. It is the silence of an empty theater after the curtain has fallen. You lean your head against the cool leather of the carriage seat, the rhythmic clopping of the horse's hooves starting up again, taking you away from the gold and back into the gray. You are safe, you are respected, and you are exhausted. The season is a long, beautiful road, but it only leads to one destination. You can feel the vibration of the wheels through the floorboards, a steady, grounding hum that lulls your tired mind. Because you see, the dance floor is not a place for love, and it never was. It is just a marketplace, a glittering arena where families are merged and fortunes are secured. Your value has been assessed, your grace has been measured, and your silence has been noted. And the ultimate prize for your perfect performance, the gold medal for your endurance, and your flawless porcelain mask, is not a life of romance or a journey of the heart. It is a contract called marriage, a contract that will change your name, your home, and the very essence of who you are allowed to be. Imagine the heavy, absolute silence of a Victorian solicitor's office. The air here is different from the outside world. It is thick, stationary, and weighted with the scent of old parchment, iron gall ink, and the dry, suffocating dust of 1,000 legal precedents. You are sitting in a high-backed mahogany chair, the dark velvet of your traveling suit pressing against your spine with a firm, unyielding pressure. Across the massive ironwood desk, a man in a black frock coat, his face a mask of professional indifference, spreads a thick document before you. It is your marriage settlement doc. As your eyes trace the flowing, elegant calligraphy, each loop and swirl of the pen, a silent command, you aren't just looking at a contract, you are looking at the blueprint of your own legal disappearance. In the year 1860, the moment you say I do, a strange, invisible, and irreversible transformation takes place. It is a concept deeply rooted in common law known as coverture. To the outside world, to your friends and your family, you are a bride, radiant and celebrated in your white silk. But to the cold, unfeeling eyes of the law, you are becoming a covert, a covered woman. You are entering a state of legal shadow, a place where your identity is slowly, systematically, and politely folded into that of your husband. It is, for all intents and purposes, a civil death. You are still breathing, still feeling, still dreaming, but the law no longer hears your voice or recognizes your hand. Every right you once held is being gently, but firmly, erased from the public record. Feel the weight of that realization as it settles over you like a heavy, invisible veil. It is a shroud being lowered over your entire legal life, layer by layer, until the woman you were is completely obscured. From this moment forward, you no longer exist as an individual entity in the eyes of the courts, the banks, or the crown. You cannot sign a contract with your own hand. You cannot sue for a grievance, nor can you be sued for a debt. You cannot own property in your own name, for the very concept of your name has been subsumed by another. Every right you possessed as a daughter, every small piece of agency you held as a single woman, is now being surrendered to the man sitting beside you. You are becoming a ghost in the very system that claims to be the foundation of your civilization, a phantom dwelling within a gilded cage of legal ink. Think about the gold coins tucked away in your silk purse, the ones your father gave you as a parting gift with a kiss on the cheek. They were a symbol of his love, but in this room, they are merely assets to be transferred. The moment the gold ring touches your finger, those coins are no longer yours. They belong to him. Even the very clothes you are wearing, the intricate lace of your collar, the expensive layers of your silk skirts, even the rigid stays of your corset legally belong to your husband. If you were to walk away from him, you could be accused of stealing the very fabric that covers your skin. It is a profound, quiet loss of self that happens not with a violent shout, but with the soft, hypnotic scratching sound of a quill pen on parchment. Listen to that sound. Scratch, scratch, scratch. The ink is dark, permanent, and cold. It moves across the page with a slow, rhythmic certainty, defining the boundaries of your new world. It dictates that your wages, should you ever find a way to earn them, belong solely to him. It dictates that any inheritance from your ancestors, the land, and the legacy of your bloodline now belongs to his name. You are a passenger in the carriage of your own life, and he is the one holding the reins. You are safe, perhaps protected by his status and his walls, but you are no longer the master of your own soul's journey. You are a legal phantom, drifting through a world of ledgers, titles, and laws that have no name for you other than wife. A title that is both an honor and a hollow space where your independence used to be. There is a terrifying, somber simplicity in the law of 1860. It states with absolute authority that the husband and wife are one person in law. To a young woman in love, it sounds like a romantic promise, a poetic union of two spirits becoming one. But as you sit in the heavy silence of this office, the light filtering through the grime of the windows, the truth reveals itself. That one person is the husband. You are the shadow he casts on the floor. You are the silence that follows his every word. Your legal existence is suspended, frozen in time, incorporated and consolidated into the towering figure of the man who stands beside you. Under his wing, under his protection, and under his cover, you will perform every action of your life, but the credit and the consequence will be his alone. You are the invisible force that keeps his world turning, yet you remain unacknowledged by the very laws that govern your movements. You feel a strange hollow sensation in your chest, a lightness that is not joy, but the realization of your own weightlessness. It is not just about the money in a vault or the title to a house. It is about the very essence of your human agency, the ability to say, I am, without needing another's permission. If he is cruel, the law politely looks away, for he is merely disciplining a part of himself. If he is reckless with the fortune you brought to the union, you have no legal voice to cry out, for your voice has been silenced by the ink on this desk. You are ward of the man you chose, a permanent child in a world that simultaneously demands you be the mature, flawless mistress of a sprawling household. You are the architect of his comfort, yet you own not a single brick of the house you built. The solicitor turns the page with a slow, deliberate motion. The parchment crinkles a sharp, dry sound that seems to echo forever in the quiet, wood-paneled room. You watch his hand move, the heavy gold signet ring on his finger catching the dim light. That ring is a symbol of authority, of ownership, and of 1,000 years of patriarchal tradition that has refined the art of making women disappear. Your own ring, the simple gold band on your left hand, feels heavier with every passing second. It is a beautiful shackle, crafted from the finest gold, but it binds you to a system that views your total submission as your highest virtue. You are being woven into a tapestry where your thread is meant to be invisible, providing strength and color to the pattern without ever standing out. Now, let the rhythm of the office take full hold of your mind. The steady, hypnotic ticking of the long case clock in the corner. Tick, tock, tick, tock. It measures out the slow, inevitable erosion of your independence, second by second. There is no rush here. The law moves with the heavy glacial speed of centuries, built on foundations that have remained unchanged while empires rose and fell. You are part of an ancient, grand machine, a delicate cog that must turn in perfect, silent synchronization with all the others. The machine does not care for your dreams. It only cares for the order of the household and the preservation of the name. You feel the gears turning, pulling you deeper into the mechanisms of a life that was planned long before you were born. You find yourself staring at the crystal inkwell on the desk. The ink inside is a deep, dark pool, a black mirror that reflects nothing but the shadows of the room. It is the ink of your new identity. It is the ink that will sign your new name for the next 50 years. You feel a sense of profound, quiet empathy for the millions of women who sat in this very chair, in this same heavy atmosphere, feeling this same cold realization dawning in their hearts. They too felt the weight of the coverture. They too felt their colors fading as they merged into the background of their husbands' lives. You are not alone in your ghosthood. You are part of a vast, silent sisterhood of the legally invisible, a long line of women who learned to exercise power through whispers and glances because the law forbade them to speak their truth. As you eventually stand to leave, the heavy silk of your skirts rustles against the dark mahogany legs of the chair. It is a whisper of soft protest, a small sound of life in a room filled with dead letters and cold fact. You walk out of the office and back into the London mist. But the city feels different now. The stone buildings seem more imposing, the iron gates more final. You carry the memory of that document in your mind, like a heavy stone, a silent companion that will follow you across the threshold of your new home. You are a wife now. You are cherished. You are provided for. But you are also, in the eyes of every court in the land, no longer there. The fog wraps around you, mirroring the legal cloud that now defines your existence. The transition from the public world of the solicitor to the private world of your home is a soft, blurring motion, like a painting where the colors bleed together until the edges are lost. You are leaving the world of contracts and entering the world of curtains. The roar of the city horses and the shouting of the newsboys fade away, replaced by the muffled, domestic rhythms of your own hallway. You are entering a realm where your power is not granted by statutes, but grown through influence, a subtle, quiet, and often invisible strength that must operate within the four walls of your house. It is a world of soft lighting and quiet conversations where your true self must learn to speak in the gaps between his sentences. Your hand rests on the cold, polished brass handle of your front door. This is your kingdom, your domain, yet you are a tenant in it, not an owner. You are the heart of the home, the warmth that makes it a sanctuary. But the bricks and the mortar belong to the head of the house. You feel the heavy weight of the keys in your pocket, the keys to the pantry, the keys to the linen closet, the keys to the silver chest and the tea caddy. These are the small, domestic scepters of your new reign, the only instruments of power you are allowed to hold. Each key represents a duty, a responsibility, and a piece of the life you must now manage with flawless precision. Take a slow, deep breath of the indoor air, smelling of lavender and floor wax. Let the coolness of the marble hallway settle your racing thoughts. The legal ghost is still there, lingering in the shadows of your mind. But for now, there are countless duties that demand your attention. There are servants to guide with a firm but gentle hand, grand dinners to plan with mathematical precision, and a husband to greet with a serene, unbothered, and beautiful face. You are learning the essential art of the Victorian mask, the vital skill of navigating a world that refuses to see your legal self while demanding everything from your physical and emotional self. You are becoming a master of the invisible, a weaver of harmony in a world built on silent compromises. The scratching of the quill has long since stopped. The ink has dried completely, turning from a wet, glistening black to a dull, permanent, and unchangeable gray. The document has been folded, sealed with wax, and locked away in a dark iron safe, a testament to your official disappearance. Your old life, the life of the girl who belonged only to herself, is now a closed book, its pages yellowing in the dark. Your new life is a vast, quiet, and predictable expanse of days, months, and years, all lived under the enduring shadow of another's name and another's will. As the ink dries on the marriage certificate, a new life within four walls begins. It is a life of quiet endurance, of small hidden joys found in the garden or the nursery, and of a slow, steady rhythm that will eventually lead you to the only place where the law can no longer reach or define you. But for now, the house is waiting, its halls filled with the echoes of your new name. The fire is lit and crackling softly in the hearth, casting a warm glow on the walls that both protect and confine you. The tea is being prepared, the steam rising in slow, lazy curls, and the ghost of the woman you were is finally, completely, and peacefully at rest in the quiet, gilded stillness of 1860. Now, leave the cold legal chambers behind and return to the soft, muffled world of your own hallways. The year is still 1860, and you have stepped into your most sacred and demanding role. You are no longer just a woman. You are the angel in the house. This is the Victorian ideal, the silent pillar of morality and comfort upon which the entire British Empire rests. Your husband may conquer markets and command industries in the fog-choked streets of the city, but here, within these four stone walls, you are the supreme architect. You are the one who must transform a cold structure of brick and mortar into a sanctuary of peace, a place where the chaos of the world is never permitted to enter. Feel the weight of the keys in your pocket once more. There are dozens of them now, small and heavy, cold against your thigh. Each key represents a different chamber of your responsibility. The pantry, the wine cellar, the linen closet, the tea caddy. These are the borders of your empire. Your day does not begin with a burst of energy, but with a slow, methodical series of rituals. You move through the house like a quiet spirit, your silk skirts creating a rhythmic hiss-hush against the thick Persian rugs. The sound is constant, a white noise that defines your existence. You are the pulse of this house, invisible but essential. Imagine the morning meeting with your housekeeper, Mrs. Jennings. You stand in the morning room, the light filtered through lace curtains, casting intricate, web-like shadows on the floor. You hold a leather-bound ledger, its pages filled with the meticulous mathematics of domesticity. How many pounds of beef? How many candles? How much coal for the nursery fire? You must manage a staff of servants who are always watching, always judging your grace and your firmness. You speak in a low, even tone, never showing fatigue, never showing doubt. To be the angel in the house is to be a master of emotional labor, ensuring that every bed is turned down, every silver spoon is polished to a mirror shine, and every conflict between the laundry maid and the cook is resolved before the master returns. The preparation for dinner is a grand symphony of 1,000 small movements. Today, it is a 10-course affair. 10 courses of absolute, terrifying perfection. Think of the precision required. The soup must be the exact temperature of a summer afternoon. The fish must be delicate, the roasts must be robust, and the jellies must shimmer like jewels under the chandelier light. You oversee it all without ever stepping foot in the heat of the kitchen. You orchestrate the timing from above, ensuring that the transition from the savory to the sweet is as seamless as a heartbeat. The dining table is your canvas. You spend hours adjusting the centerpieces, ensuring the hothouse flowers are angled just so, and that the distance between each silver fork is measured to the millimeter. This is not just a meal, it is a ritual of status, and you are its high priestess. Then there is the tea. The afternoon tea is the most delicate of your duties. Feel the fragile weight of the bone china in your hands. It is so thin you can almost see the shadow of your fingers through it. The silver teapot is heavy, its surface reflecting the flickering firelight and your own tired eyes. You pour the tea in a long, steady stream. The sound of the liquid hitting the cup, a soft, musical splash. Splash. Pause. Splash. There is a meditative quality to this repetition. You arrange the cucumber sandwiches, trimming the crusts with surgical precision. You place the scones in a perfect circle. Everything is orderly. Everything is under control. In a world of legal ghosts and social cages, this table is the only place where your will is absolute law. But, as you sit alone in the drawing room after the tea has been cleared, a quiet, cold truth begins to settle in the corners of the room. This house, which you have decorated with such painstaking care, is indeed your kingdom. You have chosen every fabric, every tassel on the drapes, every portrait on the wall. But a kingdom with no exit is simply a prison with better furniture. You realize that you have spent your entire life perfecting a space you are rarely allowed to leave. You are the architect, yes, but you are also the inhabitant of the most beautiful cage in London. You are the angel, but angels are not meant to walk among men. They are meant to stay in their designated heavens, silent and still. Listen to the house now. It is never truly silent. There's the rhythmic, deep-chested ticking of the grandfather clock in the hall. Tick, tock, tick, tock, counting down the hours of a life spent in domestic service. There is the occasional pop and crackle of the coal in the grate as it settles into gray ash. And there is the wind, whispering against the chimney pots, carrying the faint, distant scent of the river. You find yourself touching the objects around you, grounding yourself in their physical reality. Cold, smooth marble of the mantelpiece, the rough, intricate texture of the velvet cushions, the sharp edge of a silver picture frame. Let us name the things that surround you. Whisper them to yourself as you drift deeper into the shadows of the late afternoon. The mahogany sideboard, dark and solid. The crystal decanters, catching the last of the light. The needlepoint fire screen, depicting a forest you will never walk through. The heavy, gold-leafed volumes of poetry on the shelf, their pages crisp and unread. The porcelain figurines of shepherdesses on the vanity, their smiles frozen in permanent, fragile ceramic. The brass coal scuttle, gleaming in the twilight. The thick wool blankets on the settee, waiting to provide a warmth that is only physical. Every object has its place. Every object is a testament to your labor. Every object is a witness to your solitude. You move to the piano, but you do not play. You simply run your finger along the cool ivory keys, a silent scale that makes no sound. The house is a museum of your efforts, a gallery of your submission. You have built a world where everything is perfect, except for the fact that you are the only one who truly knows the cost of that perfection. The cost is a quiet, steady erosion of the woman you were before the laces were tightened, before the marriage contract was signed, before the keys were placed in your pocket. You walk to the large mirror in the hallway. In the dim light, your reflection is soft, blurred at the edges. You see the angel staring back at you, the smooth hair, the calm brow, the modest collar. But behind those eyes, there is a vast, echoing space that the house can never fill. You are the architect of a home that is designed to house a family. But tonight, it feels as though it only houses a memory. The air in the hallway is still, holding the scent of floor wax and old roses. It is a comforting scent, a familiar scent, but it is also the scent of a life lived in stasis. Take a slow breath, filling your lungs with the quiet of the evening. The transition from the busy afternoon to the long, hollow night is beginning. The servants are retreating to their quarters. The fires are being banked for the night. The grand symphony of the dinner is over, leaving only the faint smell of roasted meat and extinguished candles. You are alone in your masterpiece. The walls are thick, the doors are locked, and the world outside is a distant, foggy memory. You find yourself back in your bedroom, the same room where you woke up this morning. But you are not the same woman. You are heavier now, weighted down by the duties of the day and the legal ghost of the afternoon. You sit on the edge of the bed, the same horsehair mattress that felt so strange this morning. Now it feels like the only solid thing in a world of shadows. You listen to the sounds of the house settling, the contraction of wood, the cooling of stone. It is a language of rest, a language of endurance. The house is silent now, a deep oceanic silence that hums in your ears. There is no more shouting, no more orders, no more music. There is only the ticking clock and the rustle of your silk skirts as you move one last time before the candles are blown out. The angel is tired. The architect is finished for the day. The cage is quiet. You are safe. You are tucked away, and you are utterly, beautifully alone in the heart of your empire. As you lie back, feel the darkness of 1800 in Nora, Dunwood at Seepins Tauben style. 60 closing in around you. It is a soft, velvet darkness, smelling of coal dust and wen. Lavender. It does not demand anything from you. It does not ask for a 10-course dinner or a perfect smile. It only asks that you breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. The house will stand without your guidance for a few hours. The keys are on the nightstand, silent and still. The ledger is closed. The ink is dry. The world outside is a dream. The ballroom is a memory. The solicitor's office is a shadow. Here, In the center of your four walls, you are finally allowed to disappear into the quiet rhythm of the night. You have built this home, and now it will hold you as you sleep. The house is silent, except for the ticking clock and the rustle of your silk skirts. Now, I want you to imagine the start of your day, long before the first guest arrives, long before the first carriage rattles down the street. It is 6:30 in the morning. The room is still dim. The air still holds that sharp, Victorian chill that we felt when you first woke up. You are standing in the center of your bedroom, stripped to your basic chemise, a simple loose cotton shift. Today, your transformation will take nearly 2 hours. This is not just getting dressed. This is a construction of an identity, a slow, methodical building of a fortress made of silk, whalebone, and steel. You are the site of an architectural project, and the materials are about to be applied to your skin. Feel the presence of your lady's maid, Sarah, moving silently behind you. Her breath is a soft, rhythmic sound in the quiet room, a steady pulse that matches your own. She holds the corset, a stiff, formidable garment of white coutille, reinforced with dozens of vertical strips of genuine whalebone. You take a deep, final breath of free air, filling your lungs to their absolute capacity, and then the corset is wrapped around your waist. You feel the coldness of the fabric and the rigid, unyielding strength of the bones as they encircle your ribs like a cage. Sarah begins to pull the laces at the back. Pull, tighten, pause. With every tug, you feel your breath being pushed higher and higher into your chest. Your waist is being narrowed, forced into the fashionable hourglass that society demands. It is a strange, grounding pressure, a constant embrace that never lets go. Your lungs can no longer expand fully toward your stomach. Instead, you find yourself taking shallow, delicate breaths. In, out. In, out. This is the Victorian breath, short, rhythmic, and restrained. You are being physically molded into a shape that is not yours, but a shape that signifies your place in the world. As the laces are tied in a firm, final knot, your posture becomes unnaturally straight. You cannot slouch. You cannot bend easily at the waist. You are held in a permanent state of elegant, breathless alertness. Now, imagine the weight of the layers that follow. First, the crinoline, a massive bell-shaped cage made of concentric circles of flexible steel wire, held together by sturdy cotton tapes. As it is dropped over your head and fastened at your waist, you feel like the center of a great hollow monument. It sways as you move, a light but vast structure that dictates exactly how much space you occupy in a room. No one can stand too close to you. Your very clothes create a physical boundary, a private island that no man or servant can cross without your permission. It is a shield of steel, disguised as a fashion statement. But the steel cage is not enough to achieve the required elegance. Over it go the petticoats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 layers of heavy starched cotton and warm flannel. Each layer adds weight. Each layer adds a muffled, rustling sound to your every step, a symphony of fabric moving against fabric. By the time the final silk gown is draped over this complex structure, you are carrying nearly 20 pounds of material. Feel that weight on your shoulders, pressing down on your hips, grounding your feet into the floorboards. It is a heavy, constant, and exhausting reminder of your status. Why must you carry such a physical burden every single day? You realize, in the quiet of the morning, that this fashion is not truly about beauty or aesthetics. It is a profound visual proof of your husband's wealth and your family's rank. You cannot run in this dress. You cannot lift a heavy box. You cannot even scrub a floor or reach for a high shelf without great difficulty and the risk of toppling over. These clothes are a silent statement to the world. I do not work. I do not labor. They prove that you have a fleet of servants to perform every physical task for you. Your inability to move freely is the ultimate luxury. Your weakness is the testament to your husband's strength. You are a living monument to leisure, a sculpture of silk and steel that exists only to be seen. As the hours of the long day pass, the corset becomes a part of you. You forget the sensation of a full, deep belly breath. The pressure against your ribs becomes a steady humming background noise, a constant companion that reminds you of your dignity. You move through the house with a floating, gliding motion, the crinoline swaying like a slow pendulum beneath your skirts. Swish, sway, die, swish, sway. The sound is hypnotic. It masks the sound of your own footsteps, making you feel as though you are drifting through the hallways rather than walking on solid ground. You are a ghost moving through a world of heavy furniture and thick carpets. But now, let us fast forward. The sun has set over the London fog. The candles in the drawing room have been extinguished, leaving only the scent of smoke. You are back in your sanctuary, the bedroom. The house is silent. Sarah has finished her duties and gone to her own bed. You stand once more in the center of the room, surrounded by the heavy, protective shadows of the mahogany furniture. Now, imagine the moment of total release. One by one, the layers of silk and cotton are shed. The heavy gown falls away, pooling on the floor. The 5 petticoats are unfastened, piling up like white, tired clouds. The steel crinoline is collapsed and set aside, leaving you feeling suddenly light, almost weightless, as if you might float away. But the corset remains, still holding you tight. You reach behind you, feeling the frayed silk of the laces. You begin to undo them, one by one. Release. Loosen. Sigh. As the pressure is removed, feel your ribs expanding for the first time in 16 hours. A deep, magnificent, and life-giving breath of air rushes into the very bottom of your lungs. Inhale and exhale. It is a profound physical relief that travels from your chest to your fingertips and all the way down to your tired toes. Blood begins to flow more freely, warming your skin. The red marks on your waist, the corset bite, begin to fade as your skin finally touches the cool air. This is the moment of true safe. As the physical constraints fall away, your mind follows. All the rules of the day, the fan signals, the polite smiles, the management of the household, the legal ghosts, they all seem to untie and fall away just like the laces of your corset. You are no longer the angel in the house. You are no longer the architect. You are simply a body, soft, tired, and human, returning to its natural state. The tension in your shoulders dissolves. The tightness in your neck vanishes. You feel your muscles lengthening, your spine settling into its natural, comfortable curve. You are left in your thin white chemise. The air in the room feels cool, sweet, and incredibly light against your bare skin. You move to the bed, and without the weight of 20 pounds of silk, you feel as though you are stepping onto a cloud. You slide under the heavy quilts we spoke of this morning. They feel different now. They are no longer a burden of status. They are comfort, a grounding force that tells you it is finally time to let go of the world of 1860. Your breathing is now slow, deep, and effortless. Each breath takes you further away from the ballroom, further away from the solicitor's office, and further away from the kitchen ledgers. The corset is a shadow on a chair. The crinoline is a skeleton in the corner. You are free. You are light. You are safe. The boundaries of your body have returned to you. The physical constraints of your world are heavy, yes. They shape your body, and they limit your steps from the moment you wake until the moment you sleep. They are the steel and bone that define a Victorian woman's life. But in this moment of total release, as you drift towards sleep, you realize that the heaviest burdens are not made of steel or whalebone. They are the invisible weights of duty, of expectation, and of the legacy you must leave behind. For while the corset can be unlaced at night, the weight of motherhood, the weight of the future, is a different burden, entirely one that you carry even in the silence of your dreams. Listen to the rhythmic, deep breathing of the house as it sleeps around you. The walls are solid and protective. The doors are locked against the world. The silence is entirely your own. You have survived another day of Victorian grace. You have played your part to perfection, moving through the marketplace and the drawing room with a porcelain mask. And now, as the last ember in the hearth turns to grey ash, you're permitted to simply exist. No shape, no structure, no rules. Just the darkness and the slow, steady, peaceful heartbeat of a woman who has finally found her rest. Physical constraints are heavy, but the weight of motherhood is a different burden. Listen, Riz. In the deep, velvet marrow of the Victorian night, there is a sound that defines your existence, more than the rustle of silk or the scratching of a legal quill. It is the rhythmic wooden creak of a cradle. Creak, rock, creak, rock, dot. The nursery is a small, warm sanctuary in a cold and rigid century. The air here smells of lavender, warm milk, and the faint, sweet scent of a beeswax. Candle flickering on the washstand. You have moved from the ballroom to the drawing room, and now you have arrived at the heart of your purpose. This is the chamber where the future is whispered into being, one breath at a time. The shadows on the wall dance slowly, cast by the low fire in the grate, creating a world of soft edges and blurred boundaries where the heavy laws of men cannot reach. You stand by the window, looking out at the London fog, but your ears are tuned to the tiny feathered sighs of the sleeping child behind you. Being a mother in 1860 is your greatest paradox. You are tasked with the most monumental responsibility of the British Empire to raise the next generation of leaders, explorers, and icons. You are the primary architect of their character, the silent gardener of their souls. Yet, as you touch the soft wool of the blanket, feeling its intricate weave beneath your fingertips, you are reminded of the shadow that follows you from the solicitor's office. Legally, these children do not belong to you. In the eyes of the law, they are the property of your husband. You provide the life, the milk, and the midnight comfort, but he provides the name and the legal right to their very presence. It is a heavy, silent realization that sits in the room with you, as quiet as the dust motes in a sunbeam, yet as solid as the stone walls of the house. Feel the weight of that silent sacrifice. You are pouring your entire being into a legacy that you cannot legally claim, a river of devotion flowing into a sea that bears another's name. You are teaching your sons the mathematics of industry, the stoicism of the crown, and the iron-willed discipline required to command. You are teaching your daughters the grace of the fan, the endurance of the corset, and the subtle art of influencing a world from the shadows. You are preparing them for a world that you are only allowed to view through a carriage window, a world of parliaments and stock exchanges where your voice is never heard. You are the invisible foundation upon which their grand futures will be built, the stone that remains hidden beneath the earth so the tower may reach the clouds. Every lullaby you sing, every story you tell of ancient kings and distant stars, is a brick in a wall that protects them from the harsh realities of the century outside. The responsibility of education is a heavy, constant hum in your mind, like the distant vibration of a factory engine or the steady ticking of the clock in the hall. You must ensure they are perfect. They must speak with the correct vowels, rounded and polished like river stones. They must move with the correct posture, upright and unyielding. They must embody the virtues of a society that demands total conformity. You spend your afternoons in the nursery, not playing, but molding. You watch their small, translucent hands struggle with their lessons, the ink staining their tiny fingers, and you feel a fierce, protective ache in your chest. You are raising them to be strong enough to change a world that has told you to remain silent. You are whispering the secrets of ambition into their ears during the quiet hours, hoping they will carry your unspoken dreams, your suppressed desires, and your hidden intelligence into the 20th century. You are planting seeds in a garden you will never walk in, tending to blooms whose fragrance you will never smell. But now, let the tension of the day's duties begin to dissolve. The lessons are finished. The prayers have been said in hushed, reverent tones that linger in the air like incense. The house is settling into that profound, heavy stillness that only comes when the fires have been banked and the servants have retreated to their attic rooms. It is time for the final ritual of the day, the one that belongs only to you and the quiet. You sit in the low nursing chair, the wood smooth and familiar against your back, its grain polished by years of use. You pull the child closer, feeling the incredible, soft warmth of their small body through your thin cotton chemise. The world of 1860, with its marketplace marriages and its legal ghosts, feels very far away in this golden circle of candlelight. Here, there are no contracts, only the pulse of life. The music of the nursery is a slow, ancient melody, older than the laws and older than the city itself. You begin to hum a Victorian lullaby, a song your own mother sang to you when the world was new and the fog seemed like magic rather than soot. Sleep, baby, sleep. Thy father guards the sheep. Thy mother shakes the dreamland tree, and from it falls a sweet dream for thee. The words are simple, repetitive, and hypnotic, designed to liven the spirit and quiet the mind. Rock, dot, sway, rock, sway. Your voice is a low vibration in your chest, a soothing tether that keeps the shadows at bay and anchors the room in peace. You feel the child's breathing begin to sync with your own, a slow, oceanic rise and fall, a deep, shared rhythm that transcends the laws of men and the rigid structures of the street. Think of the legacy you are leaving behind. It is not written in dark ink on heavy parchment, nor is it carved in cold stone in a grand cathedral. It is written in the heartbeat of the child in your arms. You are teaching them that love exists even in a world of rigid contracts and social cages. You are teaching them that there is a sanctuary within four walls, no matter how cold the century becomes or how high the fog rises. You are the bridge between the past you inherited, a world of tradition and restraint, and the future you will never see, a world of change and new possibilities. And in that realization, there is a profound, quiet power that no solicitor can take away. You are not just a wife or a mother. You are a keeper of the human spirit, a guardian of the flame that burns in the heart of the home. As the child falls into a deep, untroubled sleep, you feel a sense of completion wash over you like a gentle tide. The corset is gone. The heavy silk skirts are silent on their hangers, and the ledger is closed for the night. There is nothing left to manage, nothing left to prove, and no one left to please. You are safe in the warmth of the nursery, and for this moment, that is enough. You lay the child back into the cradle, the wood giving one last, gentle creak as it accepts the precious weight. You tuck the wool blankets around them with a precision that is born of pure, unadulterated devotion, smoothing the fabric until not a single wrinkle remains. Your hands move with a grace that is almost a prayer. You walk to your own bed, your footsteps silent on the thick nursery rug. The air is cool, the silence is absolute, and the weight of the day has finally, completely lifted from your shoulders. You slide into the cool, crisp sheets, feeling the immense, heavy comfort of the quilts. Your breathing is slow, steady, and deep, drawing in the peace of the sleeping house. You are a part of a long, unbroken line of women who have kept the fire burning through the long Victorian night. Women who have managed the world from their nursing chairs and their drawing rooms. You've done your duty, and you have done it with a grace that the world may never fully acknowledge, but that the house itself remembers in its bones. The nursery is warm, a small sanctuary in a cold century. The world outside may be rigid, its laws may be harsh, and its expectations may be narrow. But here, in the darkness, there's only peace. You close your eyes, and the image of the flickering candle fades into a soft golden blur, a distant star in the night of your mind. The ticking of the grandfather clock in the hall, the rhythmic creak of the cradle, and the long, low sighing of the wind in the chimney pots merge into a single, beautiful sound of rest. You are disappearing into the shadows of 1860, leaving behind a world that is a little warmer, a little kinder, and a little more hopeful because you were in it. Imagine the years to come. The children will grow. They will step out of these walls and into the light of a new age. They will carry your voice in their minds and your strength in their blood. They will remember the scent of lavender and the sound of your lullabies when they face the storms of the future. You are the architect of their resilience. You are the ghost that guides their steps toward a better world. Even as the law forgets your name, the future will breathe your spirit. The seeds you have planted are deep, and they are strong. Sleep comes now, not as a surrender to the day's exhaustion, but as a well-earned reward. You are tucked away in the heart of your empire, protected by the very walls you have managed with such care. The legal ghosts are silent in their iron safes. The marketplace is closed, and the merchants are home. There is only the breath, the warmth, and the long, slow journey into the morning. The darkness is a velvet blanket, soft and kind, holding you in its embrace, shielding you from the demands of the day. The cradle is still. The house is at peace. The fire has faded to a soft red glow, and you are finally, beautifully, and deeply asleep in the quiet of your own sanctuary. Your heart beats in time with the quiet world. You are safe. You are home. You are at rest. The nursery is warm, a small sanctuary in a cold century. The lamp beside your bed flickers, a small, golden heart beating slower and slower as the oil begins to run dry. The era of 1860, with its steam engines, its stiff collars, and its silent legal ghosts, is beginning to recede, drifting away like a ship lost in the thickening London fog. You lie still, deeply embedded in the warmth of your mattress, feeling the heavy, comforting weight of the quilts as they anchor you to the present moment. The sharp edges of the Victorian century are softening, turning into a blur of memory and shadow. The world of contracts and corsets is fading, replaced by the profound velvet darkness of the deep night. Everything you have witnessed today, the marketplace, the solicitor's office, the weight of the crinoline, is now just a faint echo, a story told to a heart that is ready to rest. Think of the millions of women who shared this very silence with you across the ages. Think of the quiet resilience that flowed through their veins, a steady underground river that carved the path for the freedoms of tomorrow. They were the architects of a world they were not permitted to own, the keepers of a light they had to hide beneath a bushel. Yet, in their endurance, in their silent management of homes and hearts, they planted the seeds of a revolution that would one day break every chain. Their strength was not in the shouting, but in the steady, rhythmic persistence of their lives. You have walked in their shoes today. You have breathed their restricted air, and you have felt the weight of their invisible crowns. And now, that journey is complete. You have honored them by remembering. You have carried their story, and now you may set it down. The legacy of the 19th century is no longer a burden you have to carry into the night. You have played your part to perfection, navigating the marketplace and the drawing room with a grace that history often forgets to record. But the house remembers. The walls remember the touch of your hand, and the nursery remembers the sound of your voice. You have fulfilled every duty, satisfied every expectation, and met every requirement of the law. There is nothing left to prove. There is no one left to answer to. The legal ghost has finally found its peace, and the woman who remains is free to let go. You are stepping out of the structure of the past and into the boundless, quiet ocean of sleep. The fog outside is no longer a barrier. It is a soft, protective blanket that hides the world from view. Feel the tension leaving your body, starting from the crown of your head and flowing down like cool crystal water. Your brow is smooth, your jaw is loose, and your shoulders have dropped away from your ears. The restrictive laces of the day are a distant, fading memory. Your ribs expand effortlessly now, drawing in the sweet, still air of the room. Your heart beats with a slow, steady confidence, a drumbeat of absolute safety. You are drifting now, moving away from the shore of 1860, and into a place where time has no meaning. There is no past to regret, and no future to manage. There is only this breath, and then the next, and then the next. The air in the room is cool and still, holding you in a state of perfect, weightless suspension. Listen to the rain as it begins to fall softly against the window pane. It is a steady, rhythmic patter, a song of the elements that has not changed in 1,000 years. It washes away the soot of the city and the dust of the old ledgers. It is the sound of the world breathing in its sleep. You are safe. You are protected by the stone and the timber of the house, and you are protected by the silence of the night. The century's closing its eyes, and so are you. The light is gone, but the warmth remains, a soft glow in the center of your chest that tells you everything is exactly as it should be. You are sinking deeper into the feathers, deeper into the warmth, deeper into the quiet. The rain is a constant, gentle hum that isolates you from every worry and every sound of the outside world. You are at peace. You are still. You are free. The weight of the world has been lifted, and you are as light as a feather drifting on a dark, quiet wind. Every muscle in your body has surrendered to the gravity of the bed. Your mind is a calm, dark lake, reflecting only the distant, steady stars. There are no more roles to play, no more masks to wear. You are simply you, a soul at rest in a sanctuary of your own making. The journey through the Victorian fog is over, and the morning is a lifetime away. The darkness is not empty. It is full of peace, full of rest, and full of the quiet strength you have discovered today. You are held. You are valued. You are safe. I will leave you here now, in the heart of this beautiful, enduring silence. Your journey through history has come to an end for tonight, but the stories of the past will always be here to guide you back into the quiet whenever you need them. Perhaps tomorrow night we will travel to another time, another place, and another life seeking the same peace, the same deep, restorative rest, and the same connection to those who came before us. But for now, let the rain be your only lullaby. Let the darkness be your softest blanket, and let the quiet be your only home. The world will wait for you. The future will wait for you. For now, there is only the drift. You are falling deeper now, deeper into the softness, deeper into the dark. The house is silent. The city is still. The fog has claimed the streets, and the night has claimed the day. The candles have all burnt out, leaving only the scent of faint wood smoke and peace. You are floating on a sea of silk and shadow. You are safe. You are home. You are finally, completely, and beautifully asleep. The rhythm of your breath is the rhythm of the black universe. The silence is your song. The night is your friend. Sleep now. Sleep, Mulant. Sleep.